Welcome into the Film Guy Network. It's football season, which means I've got a film study for you.
What's up? You like that? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Tuesday afternoon over here in the studio. Guys, we got a massive one coming up this weekend as SEC play starts between the University of Georgia and the Tennessee Volunteers as Georgia heads up there to Neyland Stadium. It's going to be a raucous environment. Jonathan, I think we got ourselves a four-quarter fist fight getting set up between what I think are two of the best defensive units in college football available through 2 weeks, okay? What I have seen these two football teams put on tape is really impressive on the defensive side of the football. One of these offenses is playing really explosive, and we're going to show you that on the Tennessee side of the ball at some point this week. But I'm excited to show you this Tennessee defense because I think they're playing high-energy football, high-effort football, okay? They're hunting the rock, and they're tackling it physically, all right? That's the stuff we like to promote around here. That's the stuff we like to show you around here. The other thing, Jonathan, if you're a Georgia fan watching this one today, wondering, worrying, hey, is what happens when the team's going to put man-to-man defense on us and stop the run? This football team's going to play some man-to-man, all right? They're going to play a lot of it, in fact. They were down a starter at the start of this football game against Syracuse. Midway through it, they lost another one at the cornerback position. Is that correct? Ricky Gibson went out in the midway through this one, right? So they were down two starters at the cornerback position within like a quarter and a half in this ball game. And you'd have thought they had Darrelle Revis on both sides of the football the way they were calling defense. So they have no fear to play man-to-man defense and put it at the feet of the quarterbacks and the wide receivers that they are playing against. I expect no different than that this weekend as Georgia comes to town. Excited to do this with you guys today. Hey, got a couple of rules around here. You learn anything about the game of football, you must subscribe. If you learn anything about your favorite football team, you must subscribe. If you have any fun at all today, you must subscribe. Let's shut up and let's grind the tape. All right, Jonathan, you got the phone. All right, it's probably about to die, so you ain't even got to worry about that. Let's shut up. Let's get after it. All right, here we go. We're going to start open, and I'm going to tell you from jump right here against Syracuse, they had no fear of the jelly man. All right, they were going to tell Steve Angeli, you're going to have to beat us today. All right, you'll see it right here from the start. They're going to get into cover one, Jonathan, and they're going to fire the safety. Okay, they roll, get a little motion right here, and this safety is going to plug into the box right now. They're going to play it firm, okay? They're going to play it firm and physical, and they're going to rock and roll. Now, here's what's really, really tough about this Tennessee defense, okay? Here's where I think they are a little bit vulnerable. They can be a little bit disciplined or a little bit lack of discipline with the eye discipline. First snap of the football game, Jeremiah Thielander shows us an example of that. Those circles are incorrect. Jeremiah Thielander, the middle linebacker right there, number 22, shows us an example of that. Gets a little bit too aggressive right here in the run game, and now, all right, he's beat. All right, he's beat. We got a ball out right here, and we got an explosive to start the football game for Syracuse. Now, here's the thing. As a quarterback, you got to be able to hit this, okay? This ain't no easy throw. Even when they might give up a little bit of grass in the back end with coverage, they're going to make you ball, right? They're going to make you beat them, all right? That's not an easy throw. We watched Gunnar Stockton miss one of these on the goal line this week, all right, in film study. So even when they might give you grass, even when we might have a winner, even when we've beaten Jeremiah Thielander's eye discipline, we're going to put pressure at your feet as well, all right? That's the dichotomy of aggressive defenses. You might beat us, but we're going to make you do it under pressure even when you beat us, okay? I'm going to tell you what, though, Jonathan. Number 7, Arian Carter, is a special football player. Watch this closing speed. This is a big, long, physical, fast athlete, okay? They hunt the football. Did you see him punch at it at the end? They hunt the football. All right, we love good defense. We love good football around here. This is good football. You're going to see a lot of this today. Even when they're beat, there's stuff to take away from it. Speaking of which, hey, 19 is an aggressive football player, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Josephs, I believe is his name. That man is from North Cobb High School right here in the state of Georgia. They recruit the state of Georgia really, really well, by the way. That's a Georgia football player. That's a Georgia football player. Tyree West is going to rotate in here. Jordan Edmonds, the corner, is going to rotate in here. They took another corner out of Milton last year. They take a lot of Georgia high school football players. All right, 19 is aggressive, Jonathan. He's going to come off and fire off the football, and he's going to bring the smoke. I don't love how this Syracuse offensive lineman, I understand we're helping deliver here, but we look like we're absorbing contact. Amen, Jonathan? We can't be out here absorbing contact against SEC football teams, all right? I don't expect Georgia to be playing like this either.
That's Joshua Josephs.
Joshua Josephs, not Anthony Josephs. My bad. Joshua Josephs. He is a North Cobb Warrior. I should know that. That's on me. Big, long-armed athlete, too, Jonathan. He's not super tall. I think about 6'4", okay? He's not one of these 6'6" guys, but he's long-armed, man, and he plays violent and he plays aggressive. I do think they're counterable, though, Jonathan. Look how violently we close this gap right here in this space. Now, just imagine we hit them with a log. We pull the tackle back around, right? We've got a very counterable and bounceable angle and edge right here as a defense, okay? Until he does that, because he's a freak athlete, too, okay? If we're going to bounce, we better be able to bounce around him and get around him. Let's go to play number 5. Again, better get ready for 19. Better get ready for 19. Tackles, everybody, offensive coordinators, got to get ready for 19, in my opinion. Hey, there's a reason he took snaps from a first rounder last year. He took real valuable playing time up off of James Pierce's plate, all right? Took it up off his plate, not because he was tired, but because this guy's really, really good. Watch this speed to power, Jonathan. You watch 19 on tape, and you know you're going to get the twitch, right? You know you're going to get somebody with a good speed rush. Now, he's starting to learn how to convert speed to power. Sell him on speed, get that tackle on his heels, and then run through his face. This is really good stuff right here from 19. Speed to power, okay? And not to mention, we're bringing the stun up off of it. So, being able to set up this outside move while also cutting across his face and delivering this quarterback pressure to 94 is big time stuff right there from 19. They create a lot of havoc, guys. They create a lot of havoc. Also, don't think this is stationary. I want everybody to take a picture, right? A good mental picture. Arian Carter right here gives a little feint and then drops out into coverage. We're going to get a coffee house stunt here in a little bit. That's a lie. He's lying to you. He's showing you this now. A little bit later, he's going to hit you with a bluff stunt. Okay? Very, very mixed in their coverage, Jonathan. They'll play some man-to-man, and then they'll play some split field coverage like everybody else, okay? They're playing a type of, half field coverage over here, and then a different type of half field coverage over here. This looks like cover 2. This looks like some type of cover 4. We're going to call that cover 6, maybe, all right? But they look very similarly to you in that back end when they are not playing man-to-man coverage. They're splitting field coverage just like you are. All right? They're totally different in the box, though. They play a lot more aggressive. They get a lot more upfield. They hunt. They allow these guys to really, really get upfield and hope that they, get guys down on the ground before gashes are created. These are the type of run game misfits that I would imagine they've cleaned up just in 1 week, right? This is week 1. They had let's call it a wipe up game last week. All right. We got 2 guys in 1 gap, right, Jonathan? Really 3 right here as we pause the film as the ball carrier is taking the ball. All right, on this channel, we like to build walls. So even if you're a slanting team, even if you're a stunting team, right, if we start this playoff at the top, I don't care what you do as a defense. If you're one of these teams, it doesn't really matter to me. If you're one of these teams, it doesn't really matter to me. If you're one of these teams, it doesn't really matter to me. All that matters is that we have 6 gaps, right, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 gaps to account for with 6 football players. It's period. Period. Point blank, it's math. Okay, so however you want to get tricky or whatever, we just better not be stacking gaps. And this is the one clip in 30 that we're going to show you today that they do this. We watched a really bad football team, our defensive performance a couple weeks ago from Alabama's defense, and it felt like every 3 snaps they were doing that. This team does it once. I haven't seen Georgia do it at all this year defensively. They haven't played anybody, though, yet. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain to you is that these are really gap-sound defenses. Normally, this is a random bust for them, but I would imagine they get the guy down on the ground with this 7. It's a 7-yard gain, so it's not like an 80-yard explosive that we're sitting here breaking down, guys. Now, this is neat. I want to talk to the coaching staff about what they're doing here. It's very clear to me, Jonathan. Watch the relationship here between, I think 31 is Jordan Ross. Will you double check that on me? A former 5-star, highly touted edge rusher. Hey, I'm pretty sure he's keying this H-back. Watch this H-back's motion and watch how 31 responds to him. This is very neat to me. Neat's the wrong word. It's very new to me, I should say. I haven't really seen this from football teams. I don't think that's a stunt. I think that's a reaction and a trigger to the H. What do you got?
Caleb Herring.
That's Caleb Herring. Okay, another Tennessee high school football player. Okay, real good in-state recruit right there for those guys. All right, big time Caleb Herring. Anyways, Jonathan, we've always said like, hey, follow the sniffer, follow that H-back. He's probably going to take you to the action. This is in my opinion, this is a defensive schematical response to their theory. Hey, the H will take you to the ball. Okay, well, if that's true, coach, why don't we just follow him, right? We follow pulling guards. We follow these. Why don't we just follow the H? I think this is new. I think this is something I'm going to pay attention to more and more as the defensive evolution continues in college football, because that very clearly, I don't think that's a stunt. That to me looks like a reaction to the H. You'll see more of it as the film study continues. Great job by 7 right there, replacing in the run game as well. Getting a rub on that wide receiver, rerouting him right here at the line of scrimmage, doing your job while also maintaining your run fit. That's a good job right there by 7. Now, this is what freaked me out for a young quarterback going on the road. This is what's really scary, because normally if someone's bringing nickel pressure, especially from the field, they try to hide. They hide it, but they don't. It's impossible to hide it because you're bringing it from the field. Normally, if we're bringing this guy, Jonathan, we're going to roll this safety over the top of him and cap that coverage, right? 9 times out of 10. And we're probably going to creep him before the snap so he's not blitzing from depth. Not here. Watch this from Tennessee. They're going to fire him as the ball is snapped, okay? Is this the right? Yeah, 0 intel right here that the nickel is in anything other than man-to-man coverage, and we're going to fire him late, all right, and roll that coverage back over the top of him and play bracket. Look, we fired the nickel. It looks like man-to-man all the way up right until the snap to me, okay, as someone who sits here with the ability to pause it, not just walk up and look at the line of scrimmage. It looks like man-to-man coverage to me, and then we fire the nickel. We play over the top, outside bracket, inside bracket. We play a version of cover 3 here to the field while firing the nickel, okay? I will say this about their linebackers, Jonathan. They are coached up, and they do violently pursue the run game. They are play actionable. But the moment they recognize pass, they don't even turn and look. They turn and sprint. They turn and sprint their butt to the midfield and then eventually start to look. I'm going to show you a great clip of it later. All 3 of them just covering so much ground, like T-Lander right there. He's not really running to a concept. He's running to grass because he knows the concept will eventually run there. It's another really good disguise right here in the back end, I think. If my memory serves me correct, they rolled a 3 right here, right before the snap. Yeah, okay, look. They're showing too high, Jonathan, all the way up, like especially if you're a back. Like we have the ability right now to know that they're staggered, right? And we see that on film and we know, hey, they're probably going to roll pre-snap or post-snap. But when you walk to the line of scrimmage, you can't see their depth like that if they're 1 and 2 yards staggered. All right, so I walk up to the line of scrimmage, and I think the middle of the field is open, and I'm in empty, so I make my decisions based off that. That's why the coach put me in empty, so I can see nice and clear what the picture is. And then they rock and roll, post snap on me. What looks to be too high, they end up playing one high cover three, okay? And look at all the quick triggering on these things underneath. Look at this guy's confidence on that underneath route. Now, hey, angelic man, there's something running right there for us. Do we rip it? Yes, we do. We do. But great break on the ball right here by the safety. Okay? Great break on the ball. I mean, he rotates all the way from over here to make a play on the football over here on this inward breaking route. Nowadays, Jonathan, it's not just confusing the quarterback either. Nowadays, with all these offensive innovations, right? I run my route in 4 verticals versus middle of the field open, totally different than I run my route on 4 verticals with the middle of the field closed. So if I'm a wide receiver over there and I take my snap and the ball is snapped and I'm thinking, hey, middle of the field's open, I'm going to bend this. And then I go to bend it and oh crap, the middle of the field's now closed. We just cooked the entire play. You know what I'm saying? So like being able to just throw those little different things and disguises really changes and it adds a different element to your defense. Get prepared, guys. Get prepared for these types of stunts all over college football. Watch number 7. This is called a coffee house stunt. Okay, I showed you him showing drop bail coverage a little bit earlier. He's trying to show that again, as is this guy, right? That guy actually is bailing. He's not. But look at these two, all these eyes right here completely lose number 7, and now he's got a free run right on the quarterback. So here's the deal. Here's how we're teaching this from now on, Jonathan. We're a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, work for work. All right. And I tell them that because I know in the game it's going to be 1, 2, 3. All right. You coach up the Mississippis knowing good and damn well it ain't going to be Mississippis in their head when the bullets start flying. So we're in our pass set, 1 count, 2 count, 3 count work. All right. That will alleviate a lot of this because I know what centers are being taught over the years. If he bails, look for work. If he bails, look for work. So he bails, you look for work, he adds in. So now we got to change our timing on this. It's got to be hold, 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 look for work. All right. Because even if, he gets us after that, if he wants to act like he's bailing all the way through my hold counts, Jonathan, the ball's out. The ball's out. We're good. I ain't got to worry about it. Get prepared for coffee house stunts. Y'all better be figuring out ways to coach them up. That's every coach listening to this network today. They ain't got nothing to do with Georgia or Tennessee. I've seen Austin Peay throw them. I've seen Marshall throw them. I've seen Ohio State go viral for them. We see Tennessee throwing them. I saw Nakobe Dean throw it back in 2018 or 2020. So it's been a long time in the game. We better start learning how to coach these things up. I think it's a really good job right here by number 7 and number 8 of really disrupting the timing of this football play. Okay, this guy right here and this guy right here. I believe number 8's the transfer from Colorado. Jonathan, will you check up on that for me? That's a really good job disrupting the timing. Let's talk about the corner down here on the bottom. We showed a rep the other day on our defensive study from Georgia of the young corner, DeMello Jones, really not riding that wide receiver off the spot right here in cover 2. You might have hard flats, and that guy might be running out of your responsibility, but let's make it hard for him when he runs by my face. Good job right here by number 8 of really disrupting that timing and not losing ground, right? He's still tight into this window, making it a tougher look for the quarterback. I also love 7's positioning right here. Let's roll this back for number 7. Once he recognizes, okay, it's pass. I love how we set ourselves to the wide receiver, okay, and make him run through us. If he plays through contact, it's not defensive pass interference. If I put myself in a position to be right and he has to run through me, that's on him. So watch 7 right here, recognizes, anticipates inward breaking route, puts himself right there in the spot to have the tight end have to run through him. Now, I think we get a little grabby there late. Don't be continue to ride him. It's not a moving pick. Make him run through you. Once he does, play underneath, okay? And all the while, no duh, we're getting pressure, right? No duh, we're getting pressure because the whole timing of the offense has been jacked up to the short side of the field where the quarterback's working if he is indeed hot. Do we see how all that's working together, guys? Now let's look at the actual pressure, how they got home. It's a play action. I'm finishing, working a little bit harder than you. Watch 94. Who is 94, Jonathan? That's a big old dude. I bet that kid's 6'6", 305.
Number 8 is Colton Hood from Colorado.
Number 8 is Colton Hood from Colorado. Number 94, my man, got to be 6'6", 305 at minimums.
Nathan Robinson, 6'6", 300.
I'm so much better at this than the trolling clip farming. You know what I mean? Clip that one. Dude knows ball. Good Lord. All right, let's go on to the next play. They're HAVOC wreaking, Jonathan. I forgot to even add that at the end because I was too mystified by the coverage and all the disruption of timing. But when they get there, guys, they're going to punch it out. We got to protect the football. And they capitalize on every opportunity I've seen the last 2 years. You too? I feel like the last 2 years I've been watching Tennessee defense. Every time the ball's up for grabs, they grab it. Every time it's on the ground up for grabs, they grab it. This Tennessee defense is the most opportunistic defense we've studied on this channel consistently the last 2 years. I don't know how you coach that. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something right. Okay. I do think Austin P was a good little warm up, a good little primer, okay, Jonathan, for some run stunts that you're ultimately going to see. Now, this is a different one. I haven't really seen this one be thrown recently, but it's the same thing. We're triggering with the H right here as the H goes away, but we're also, I think, predetermining this one. Look at this stunt right here from Tennessee. Boom. Okay, that to me looks like a predetermined run stunt. And it also, to me, Jonathan, looks very counterable. All right, you are a counter football team. So I think if we get some down blocks here, we pull some backside guard, pull some backside tackle, I think we got a front side play right here. What do you say? That's what I say. But good luck right there, or left tackle. 90's bringing smoke, dude. I love these two football players. 20 and 90, I think they're damn good. I think they're damn good. I feel like they've been there a while. Here's a good example of their split field coverage, Jonathan. All right, and what they kind of do. If your X is not a guy, all right, if your X is manable, they're going to leave him in Meg coverage over there. Man everywhere he goes. All right, Meg. All right, if he's a dude, all right, we might play dog coverage, right? Which means basically I've got safety help over the top. It's another way of saying bracket. All right, but anyways, they don't have a dude over there at Syracuse right about now. So guess what the safety gets to do? The safety gets to roll away. All right, and now they're playing bracket down here. See that the linebacker's eyes have already looked outside. We're bailing to the top hole right here. We got a free safety playing with his eyes down in the box, and we have a nickel. All right, I think we're a little too close to the line of scrimmage, but they're cueing screen down there on the bottom. See all those guys triggering because they're getting a bunch of screen looks. Now, here's why I put this on the clip for you Georgia fans today. All right, y'all are so worried. Everybody's so worried about man-to-man coverage, putting it at the feet of the lap of Noah Thomas and Colby Young and Gunnar Stockton. You should be worried. It hasn't looked great through 2 weeks, but I think you can do this. I know you can do this. I see you do this against Notre Dame. I've seen Gunnar Stockton do this, which is go run a hitch, go get some separation, and go throw a beam. He can do that, okay? There's no doubt that there's concerns for me as an analyst going into this, looking at Gunnar Stockton's first road start, having seen what we've seen 2 games on tape. That being said, I think Georgia's wide receivers can win enough to where if you think it's just going to be cover 0 all day, let's blitz the hell up out of them. I don't know if that's the right answer. I think their wide receiver core is a little bit too good. Okay. I would throw a bunch of zone pressures at the kid. That's what I would do. All right. I wouldn't just allow him to go play dude on dude football. I'd make him play the quarterback position. I'd make him read defenses. I'd make him read zone coverage. I'd make him go, oh crap, where'd that guy come from? That's what I would do. Hey, we'll take a quick minute to give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. What a great time to be here on this network this year, but also a great time to be with our friends over at Sleeper. Go over to Sleeper today, the #1 place for daily fantasy and prop plays. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats It's that simple. On Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts, share with your friends, and get rewarded today. Use promo code Brooks, as you see on the screen, on Sleeper and get 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. Boys, as you know, we're about 28 minutes at the time of this ad read from the kickoff of NFL Sunday. So go ahead, run over to Sleeper right now. I'll give you permission to leave the stream actively. Go over to Sleeper, get a play in right quick, and get paid. We appreciate those folks over there at Sleeper. Again, that's promo code Brooks over there on Sleeper. I mean, get ready to log counter. I'm just telling you right now. Just get ready to. If y'all are running counter this week, like they're running counter right here, get ready to bounce this outside and log it, because this guy plays downhill, man. This is Anthony Joseph's game. He plays downhill. So just get ready. Look how quickly he squeezed that space, Jonathan. Y'all better get ready to bounce this sucker. All right, and when you get out there, you better be ready to latch up with the linebacker who's standing out there, okay? You better be ready to latch up with the linebacker who's standing up there. Also, really, really important that this combination block on this defensive end actually gets to the backside inside linebacker, because if it does, I think this hits. We don't get to the backside inside linebacker, and now we're bouncing way wide, all right, and getting pushed back for a 4-yard gain, all because we can't move him up off the spot. He's a damn good football player. It's a little different than playing Austin Peay moving double teams, okay? There's no doubt about this, all right? And that frontside combo is the real key to counter. When we can't move him and he squeezes space and we can't get to him, we ain't going to have a successful play. That being said, it's a 4-yard gain, Jonathan, all because the edge is counterable, like I'm saying, all right? Still got lots to clean up there as an offense. I think they're going to heat you up, though, Jonathan. I really do. I think they're going to do just this, too. I think they just left the safety, or plugged the safety and left this corner on an island. I think to start football games, until you show that they can beat you, they're going to do this to you as well. They'd rather you play a little bit heated up. They'd rather you play a little bit frantic, especially on the road, I would imagine. I would have this similar game plan until the young Q beats me. I'd make them throw those balls. I would make you compete into those windows until you can't. Now, here's the deal. Syracuse draws a PI right here. It's a 15-yard penalty. Okay? But, Jonathan, I just wouldn't make it that. Now, this isn't easy. He's still throwing with pressure. Yeah. But I would not make it. If I was Tennessee's defensive coordinator, I would not make it as simple as, oh, well, all I got to do is wait for Noah Thomas to win. Oh, all I got to do is wait for Zachariah Branch to win. I wouldn't make football that easy on Saturday. Not on the road, not with 100,000 screaming volunteer fans. We would throw a whole kitchen sink at the dude and make him question what he's actually seeing, because through 2 weeks, he's questioned what he's actually seen. I think they're really well trained versus play action. I told you this earlier. If you're going to be aggressive in these positions, okay, if you're going to be aggressive in these linebacker positions, you better be well coached to respond to play action, okay? Because they are really, really taught to trigger in the run game. Get downhill, be violent. I want you to add your hat. But they're responsible for the intermediates, right? They're responsible for the mid-passing game. Look at this response from 13 in particular. Look at this player right here and watch him immediately bail to the mid-low hole. Okay, and I love also, we peeked over our left shoulder. Did you see that, Jonathan? Looking for the deep crosser while gaining the ground that we need to. And now, guess what? Anything that was crossing over here, we're probably going to make it look hairy for the quarterback, all right? Just based off of run, nope, pass. All right, let's immediately get out of here. Let's not slow backpedal like some of you linebackers do. Turn and run, look for the Dover. Look for that deep over running back at you, okay? But in terms of, like, again, very similar to what you do defensively, Jonathan, they bunched offensively. They bracket showed some cloud, okay? They do the same thing you guys do from a coverage standpoint. All right. Now, this is basic duo right here. This is basic duo, but they're throwing this front side stunt again. All right, and they're throwing it on this side over here as well. All right, so here's what I'm going to coach my guys up. if we are these football players over here, or if we are these football players over here, when something darts away, we better squeeze and get vertical. All right, squeeze and get vertical. Watch these guys over here and the back as we're trying to run duo right here on a short yardage situation. Hey, good job, 12, but hey, trust it. Continue to squeeze. Continue to squeeze. There it is right there. Now back. Squeeze and get vertical. Squeeze and get vertical. Because watch this seam get created, Jonathan. Looky there. Looky there right there. Squeeze and get vertical. We can't be rushing. I know it makes it seem like they want you to bounce because that defensive end is spiking. But that second level defender is already rolling over the top to replace. All right, we got to get in between that crease between he's rolling over the top, he's squeezing down. We're washing the squeeze down, right? Let that over the top crosser over pursue. Let's stay tight because the crease is right there, okay? We got to squeeze and get vertical. Squeeze and get vertical. Don't let that leverage lie to you, backs. We can't let that leverage lie to us. They haven't called, I told you, they haven't called a game yet, at least three. I know they played Syracuse and they played, who was it, Tennessee State?
East Tennessee State.
East Tennessee State. They haven't called games like they're missing two corners, okay? Nothing about this says we're worried about you beating us. And I always assume that if teams do this to other teams, like this team turned around and threw it 58 times for 700 yards against UConn in an overtime loss, or overtime win this week. Like they can throw the football. And they walked out here and did this to them. So I just assume they're going to walk out there and do that to you. That's what I assume. All right. That's what I prepare for if I'm this football team. I love this guy. It bothered me so much that Boo Carter was having so much nonsense this offseason. But he's a damn good football player. There's no doubt about it. Watch him get on top of this, Jonathan, and stay on top. Okay. You ain't getting on top of him. We're going to have to back shoulder that if we're throwing that one today. Now, is Zachariah Branch better in the slot than that guy? I would assume so, yes. But that's locks, okay? That is the definition of being in phase. I'm on top of the hip, I've swiped the hand down, and now I'm looking back for the football. That's picture perfect. So they can cover two now. All right, this one goes in the notes, Jonathan, because I don't. Have y'all ran tight end leak ever? Do y'all run this action, Jonathan, where it's blocked down and then do that one?
I can maybe.
Yeah, you ran it for a huge explosive against Texas last year to Oscar Delp.
Oh, yeah.
Huge explosive to Texas last year to Oscar Delp. Late in the ball game, flipped the field for you guys, ultimately won that football game. Same thing right here. Tight end falls down, but you can tell, hey, this dude's leaking for grass right now. Also, quarterback goes the entire wrong way, and it jacks up the entire timing of this play. If the quarterback goes the right way, he's not there. He's still here. And he has a longer time to get there. He doesn't set up now. He's setting up a little bit later. I don't know if you can see, Jonathan, but our tight end's down on his face. You'll find out why here in just a second. But the tight end gets back up off the ground, and that's going to be a touchdown, big boys. That is 100% leaking to grass. However, because the quarterback aborted the fake the wrong way or opened up to the wrong side, we've jacked the whole system up, and now we're getting sacked by, I believe, Mr. Josephs, is that who runs us down? Yeah, he makes this entire play, if my memory serves me correctly. Let's find 19. Where's he at? Oh, he's over here. Okay, I think 19 jacks this whole entire play up. Just with raw effort. Come on now. And look at homeboy over here. He's the one who throws the damn tight end down. Watch him just rag toss this tight end right here, Jonathan. Get out of here. Get out of the club. You know why? You know why this tight end got his butt jacked up? He got into the rib cage. You're playing too high. Okay? I promise you right now, if you walked up to me right now and punched me as hard as you could in my rib cage, I'd fall over. If you walked over here and punched me right now as hard as you could in my shoulder, sorry, boom. Right? It's just bad body positioning. Better be ready for the man beaters, guys. Better be ready for the man beaters. Again, they did not call defense like they did not have ability to cover. They're about to full on cover one, straight up send 7 right here. All right. And the coach sees it. Coach gets the play calls checked into a one-on-one opportunity. Okay. And we throw it up, and I don't think we get it completed. It gets knocked down by Ricky Gibson. They're going to put it at the feet of the wide receiver and the quarterbacks. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. Now, this is a great throw by Steve. I just think we're doing too much right here. It's a really good throw, and it's awesome. It's great. They drop into a 4-high shell. All right. Against quarters, Jonathan, we like the middle of the field, but underneath the 2 safeties. Okay. So we're going to bend this tight end back into this hole in between these 2 linebackers underneath this safety. We have a very similar concept against quarters working back over here where we're trying to get into that void between the quarter, the corners quarter, all right, and the safeties quarter. So that's what we got. We got a good call right here against quarters to beat it. Steve, we're doing too much, buddy. Your tight end is wide ass open. We're going to throw it into this really, really tight window. But here's what I'm saying if I'm Gunner. Hey, that guy's willing to do this. All right, and it's the only reason they actually had a chunk play. We got to be willing to do this type of stuff. That being said, Steve, you're making it too hard on yourself, buddy. Have your eyes in the right spot. The tight end's wide ass. The tight end's right there, and he's wide ass open, okay? Why throw here when we can throw here? Now, I'm going to tell you, Jonathan, through one game of like real power forward coordinator attacking, figuring out what he wants to do, figure out how he wants to attack. The first play of the football game, they attacked 22 and his responsibilities matched up with the back. The very first time they got the ball inside the 5, they attacked 22's lateral speed. All right, so Jeremiah Tielander's a far better athlete than I ever imagined him being, but that was the one knock on him coming out of high school was that, hey, he might not be SEC speed. He's been SEC speed so far, but you can see there are still some limitations, guys, or at least some coordinators still try to stress this. Okay, we still have some side-to-side, vulnerabilities. I think he's lost weight, Jonathan. He looks thinner to me. It looks like a football player and a staff that identified some of the problem areas. He's a really, really, really good football player, but you will see this on tape every once in a while. Teams will be attacking his lateral abilities. I just don't think there's any doubt, Jonathan, they're going to force your wide receivers and quarterback to beat you Saturday, or they're going to do their damnedest to try. Okay, everything about this says I'm pressuring the box. I'm playing cover one. All right, I'm going to plug the safety. I'm going to roll the nickel with man-to-man coverage. I'm going to keep these guys in bump and run. I'm going to play one high safety. They're going to put this at the quarterback's feet on Saturday. All right, both the pressure and the game plan. I mean, the next clip's the same thing. They're adding pressures. They're bringing safeties into the box. They're playing one high. They're hunting, period. Point blank. No doubt about it. Got to be able to win. I thought Steve did a decent enough job at least competing from within the pocket because it's a hairy one all day long, guys. It's a hairy one all day long. It's a tough pocket to compete from, Jonathan. It's a really, really tough pocket to compete from. The blitz pickups this week have got to be elite during practice. All right, because they're going to throw not just a lot of bodies at you guys, but right, we're spiking and plugging. All right, everything about the rush is designed for a couple of things. One, to get a one-on-one over here for a premier pass rusher, but also to trick this tackle into washing down to get a free hitter for our safety that's adding into the box, which almost happens. I mean, it's a key in every football game, but you want to stay the hell up out of third down. Stay the hell up out of third and long, particularly, all right, because the exotics are exotic. Like, man, This is a walked up 6-man front or a 5-man front with the linebacker standing in A gap. They're going to drop him to the field. They're going to bring Arian Carter from the boundary, and he's going to get a free hit on the quarterback if my memory serves me. Yeah. So like, just stay the hell out of 3rd and 9, especially on the road. Especially on the road. Now, I think this is a good look at them versus duo right here, Jonathan, a play that you run. I do think they are somewhat creasable because of what they do on these front sides, right? What they do with these defensive ends, how much they spike, how much they wrap, how much they plug, all this good stuff. I do think they are somewhat creasable, right? I think if we get a good jump cut, we got one there. I think there's creases in a lot of this. I think there's creases in a lot of what they got going on, all right? But they're violent. They get off blocks. They rally to the football, and it closes quickly. All right, so there's no doubt about that. First time seeing them this year, Jonathan, what were your thoughts?
I was actually going to ask a question about they're so violent on the edge. Do you see that change, though, because Gunner can run? Like, do they change it up, or do you think that's just who they are? I
think that's an identity thing. I think they have been that way. Now, they used to play a bunch of zone behind it because they felt like they couldn't cover. But they have been, we're going to create havoc with the box for a while. All right, for a good little while. Hey, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you appreciate that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. We love you. Bye.